Hello, everybody. It's Tony here from Wellbeing Health Retreats, and we've got another exciting episode for you. But first, I'll introduce Simon. Simon, tell the audience who you are.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tony. Look, Simon Bowden, and for 30 years I've been a marketing business coach, and I love helping business owners build themselves profitable businesses using tailored marketing strategies. And I absolutely love what I do. So let's go. Let's get stuck right into it.
Thanks, Simon. And I run health retreats with my wife, and also we do a lot of wellbeing for corporates as well. We help with corporate culture and also help with visioning and the core values. So today we've got a special guest, and our topic today is Andre, a tradesman story. So let's meet Andre.
Hi everyone, I'm Andre. G'day Simon. G'day Tony. Thanks for having me on the show, mate. I've been eagerly waiting for this moment. My name's Andre. I'm a plumber, a roof plumber to be exact. I specialise in copper and zinc roofs, and your contemporary or your heritage, and new designs and all sorts of fancy kind of roofing and cladding. So I'll let you guys take over the shows and fire away at the questions, and I'll be eagerly waiting to answer.
That's all right, not a problem.
Thanks, Andre. I acknowledge your enthusiasm there. It's good to have a very enthusiastic speaker. Just permit me just to give Andre's bio. Andre is married with 2 kids, a 15-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son, and he's also got a dog, which he loves. He's the co-owner of a metal and roofing and cladding business specialised in architectural projects. I've actually seen his projects too. He creates domes and things like that. He's an amazing man, right?
Yeah.
He enjoys being creative, hence why pursued his career path. He operates a small business for over 8 years, consisting of a team of both experienced workers as well as apprentices. He has over 20 years of experience in the building industry. He's a licensed registered roof plumber, and his interests and hobbies includes cars, travelling, AFL, nature, going to the beach, and Saturday night movies. So what sort of movies do you like, Andre?
I like sci-fi. I like your sci-fi kind of movies, I think.
They're beautiful.
Your Star Wars. Yeah. I used to like the comedies and stuff like that, but I'm really sort of into your sci-fi now, I think.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so why did you choose this career path?
I left school and I started off working as a printer. I got a job as a printer indoors in a factory kind of job, and it wasn't for me. Like I helped a friend of mine build pergolas and stuff like that to start off with his father-in-law. And then I sort of I stopped there and I sort of went traveling a little bit like that. I got into the hospitality industry and stuff as well. But my heart just always threw me back to going outdoors, like I loved being outside in the nature, and I also loved creating things like, there was a sense of satisfaction for me, after you've done a job and you walk back and you see the smile on your customer's face, and you've left something behind, like a little bit of a landmark. It touches me dearly, so it's something that I enjoy. It's my passion. I enjoy building. It's my absolute passion. So.
Andre, I hear a lot of spirituality from you. So what does spirituality mean to you?
Spirituality means, it means a lot of things. It means, well, first and foremost, that people get confused with, with religion or, and stuff like that. But spirituality for me is having a common respect for every being on this planet. And having that connection with my higher power, which guides me through this day-to-day, guides me through everything that comes in my way. My higher power helps me get through it, and And I'm just connected with the world, like just being a good, honest human being, and that's pretty much it. That's
Yeah, no,
that's
good on
pretty much it.
So you mentioned just before that you're a plumbing. Your background is in plumbing, roofing plumbing. But how did you move more into the specialised trade that you do today?
Well, that was kind of, again, that's a kind of active, like my higher power. I was working for the boss at the time, and we were working on a job in Port Melbourne, which was quite a big project. And me and Nat just fell pregnant with Amelia, and she was on her way, our firstborn, and we just bought a house. And I was just going through, just bought a house and all, and from a moment of, and this is what I mean, this is where it goes back to spirituality. My boss decided to shut shop and, go bust on us. And,
wow.
And I didn't know what to do or where to go. I just had to have faith. And the job across the road, so happened there was a guy there that had a massive copper job on, like this really big, elaborate sort of intricate copper job. And he asked if he could take us on because he didn't have the manpower to finish the project, the project that they had. So they needed extra help. And so that's where it all began for me, and the first time I touched copper, I fell in love with the material. Like it was absolutely beautiful to work with. And, and the praises that you get from it, people seeing the job, and, it was just, and I fell in love with it, and that was my passion. That's where it all began. And I held on to it and ran with it. So I had to have a bit of faith in my spirituality, and my higher power presented me from from something gone wrong. There's always a silver lining and a blessing in it. So, and the blessing that was to, set me on my path to become a coppersmith, or whatever you want to call it. Into the craft that I do this day. Yeah.
So when you started with the this company across the road doing that copper work, obviously with your existing boss going bust, you had to then do something. So you either started your own business or went to work for somebody else. So why did you decide at that point that obviously you just bought a house and you've just had a child on the way? What was it that actually made you or decided to start your own business?
I think it got to well. There you go. There's another one too. I started working for a lot of, like, I worked for a company. I worked for companies for a few different companies anyway. And look, I was a loyal, hardworking employee. I made sure that I did my job correctly and at the best of my capabilities for my employer. I met targets, and I pushed really hard for him. And but I think what really got to me was in a lot of companies, bigger companies, there's a lot of politics and a lot of people. I think what it came down to, it was down to the relation that the actual company, the people had in the company itself wasn't good, because it was sort of like a cutthroat. Everyone was out to sort of make themselves look better, and I'm a pretty sort of honest person. I wouldn't do that to anyone. Like I don't need to step on anyone's toes to sort of climb a ladder.
You'd say the culture in the company wasn't.
The culture is the word, exactly, Simon. It was the culture. It was a really sort of bad culture. Oh, not bad, I shouldn't say that, but it wasn't a nice culture, and it sort of drove me out. But again, that's like, I've seen it in a different light. It was that wasn't the path that I was meant to take. So from there, I decided to go out on my own, because that sort of, my higher power lighten that path for me. So I found my direction to sort of start working for myself. Again, I took that leap of faith, not knowing where I was going to head. It was the same scenario. It was like, okay, well, I've never been self-employed before. What do I do? Where do I go? But I did take that leap of faith, and I just knew that everything was going to be okay. And I haven't looked back since. I've had to work on a lot of things, but I haven't looked back since. Like I'd find it very difficult to go work for someone now. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Andre, let's talk about some of your challenges that you've had. And I know you've been through some dark periods, and you've been able to manage to get through it. Would you like to share some of that with our audience?
Yeah, look, definitely. I've gone through, I have gone through some dark periods. I've struggled with addiction, for a big part of my life. So I've had to I've had to go into the right avenues. Like I do my meetings nowadays. I'm a I've got like people that are spiritually connected that really help me on the spiritual side of things. I've just I've got no shame in it because it's made me the person who I am today. I have absolute comfort in my own skin, and I'm okay with me. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with this, and it's like, if anyone is listening to this as well, like I'd like to do a quick shout out, like you're not alone. Check out the rooms. I find peace in there. Like it's something that you're not alone, and you can get help out there for people who are struggling with stuff. So there's no need to feel alone and hide and keep going down that rabbit hole where there is another way. Like to live a healthy, normal, happy life like today. I have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful family. I've got beautiful people in my life, like yourself, Tony, like yourself, Simon, and Sharada, so I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for the things that I have in my life. And each one of you have had a part of that, to sort of help me back on that road of, recovery, I guess. So.
Yeah, one of the things too is, sorry, Simon. So one of the things that you also do is that you also give a lending hand to some of people who've sort of been in your same sort of situation. I know with some of your apprentices and your other trades, that you go out of your way to help them.
100%. I mean, and that's what my higher power, I believe that's what my higher power put me here to do. Like if he's shown me the way to come out from something dark, and which I see as a blessing these days. I don't see that as a downfall. I see the things that I've done and the path that I've walked and all the things that I was ashamed of. I believe that I'm grateful for going through all of that because it's made me such a strong person, and it's given me the ability to be open about that and to see a young kid who's struggling in the same sort of thing, and just to sit with him. And for a long time I had a good apprentice, which, look, you can't push people into finding their they need to work things out for themselves, but you can have that conversation and you can plant that seed. And and that's the main thing for me, is actually planting that seed. You lead by example and just show people that you can turn your life around. So, and he might not get it, or that person, or he or she might not understand that straight away, but I'm tipping maybe 5 or 6 years down the road when they hit that brick wall again, they'll go, maybe I'll give that a crack. Because I remember this guy telling me that it's okay and you can get you can help, you can get help. So it's all about planting the seed, and that's it. And that's about being a good human being. It's about being an honest and good human being that's willing to help another, and that's where the great reward is. And I've been blessed because the way I see it is that I've found something that I'm passionate about, which is my roofing, which is my craft. And if I can teach a kid who's struggling and who's going through some dark times, to show them that come and have a crack at this, and then maybe they get that sense of achievement of when they create something really beautiful, like like working on a dome or something that you're not going to see every day, and you walk away and you go, wow, like that's going to be up there for about 150 years, and my kids' kids will see that, and then hopefully that catches them and they get inspired by that and they fall in love with it like I did, and maybe that's it. That could be the turning point in their life, and and I've done my job as a good human being. That's helped someone else. So
with yourself, Andre, what if you remember back, what was the turning point for you going through those dark times? What you obviously just woke up one day and decided that something was better out there for you?
No, not really. It was it was more the fact that my beautiful kids, it was more my kids and my wife, it was them. It was the I had to be a father. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with a beautiful mum and dad who gave me the world, and I believe that I owe these kids the same thing. My high powers blessed me have the ability to bring life into this planet, you know, and I see that as a blessing, because it's not easy to, you know, the fundamentals of having a kid. It's like some people can't have kids, and you know, I've been blessed to have them. So I believe it's my right to sort of guide them in the right way and show them that, you know, show them the ropes, show them that what life is about, and doing my best as a father. You know what I mean? And that was the turning point for me. Is that the love for my family. Like
that's so amazing to hear that. Actually, it's really good.
And Andre, what achievements and special projects in terms of your work that you're very, very proud of is your showcase?
Yeah, okay. Well, achievements that I'm really proud of. Well, one is being a father. That's probably my number one.
Yeah.
Two is I got Apprentice of the Year when I did my apprenticeship.
Beautiful.
That really, I got Apprentice of the Year, and that really was the kickstart of well, that just reflected on how much I enjoyed, you know, building and roofing and stuff, because I've got a passion for it. So I excelled in it, and I did really well, and I got an award. Still got the award. I got a voucher like from Reece. It was like a big thing, which was really good. And I've worked on some pretty elaborate projects. Like I did, I've worked on St. Peter's Cathedral, the one that Kevin Rudd got baptised in. So when he was in Parliament, he funded to restore the big copper spirals there in Brisbane. So I was, it was like a 200-year-old technique that we used on that copper spiral. So look, I was blessed to be able to work on that project. That was a great achievement for me. The Albany Entertainment Centre, which is, you know, some people might think it's a big eyesore over in Albany in WA, but you know, it's a landmark that's going to stay. It's going to stay there for a while, and it's a beautiful. I believe it's a beautiful zinc project. It's a big zinc project. I was blessed to work on that one as well. You know, that left a little bit. And Burke Street, there's been a few. Burke Street, the Burke Street Salvo building as well, up in the top end of Burke Street. So we did. Look, I cladded the top part of that in sort of some funky zinc, different coloured panels and stuff like that, different patterning in the flat lock technique. So that was pretty cool. And probably the little secret one of mine would be that Surrey Hills dome, because I've always wanted to do a dome, and that one felt like Everest. And when I climbed it, it was just a beautiful project. You know, you're in the middle of a garden. And it was just, it was poetry for me. It was everything. Like, you know, it wasn't a hectic construction site. It was just a beautiful garden, you know, and it was just, beautiful work, beautiful project. So that would be one of my top 10. It was like, that's a little secret one, you know, and I'll drive past it every now and then. It's like saying hi to an old friend, you know, you see it age, because copper forever age, it changes, you know, like it, and I'll pop in there and always, you know, and have a look and just see how it's oxidizing, how the patina's coming along, and it looks really good. So I was really proud of that one. That's the one I was proud of.
And where do you think you'll get in the future? Where do you think your career path will take you?
Well, you know, it's something that I'm always going to be tinkering. That's just what I do. I would love to sit there in the future, maybe have a factory where I can work on some sort of, I don't know, I could tinker more kind of on the heritage front. When I mean that, like, maybe work on some gargoyles or some
great.
you know, a bit more sort of traditional stuff, like, you know, dormers and stuff like that, where, you know, you've got all the scroll work around a window. I know we don't have that much of architecture like that here, but we do have a few buildings that do have it. And they all need restoring, because they get pretty old and stuff like that. So hopefully in the future I could sort of, you know, find a little shed somewhere, or, you know, or a factory, and I could just tinker away. You know, I could work on something like that over the time and take my time with it, and, you know, and and still have that sort of, it's not as hard on the body. I'm not jungle gym around site and scaffolds and stuff like that, but you know, I could sit comfortably and, you know, have my little cup of tea and tinker away. You know,
what sort of personal projects would you like to do? I know.
Sorry?
What sort of personal projects would you like to do? I know that you've been putting your hand out to help people. Is there something that you personally would like to do to help people who've been in those dark periods?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, look, that sort of happens naturally for me. Look, I'm, you know, I would like hopefully in the future, you know, I could be able to help a little bit more. Maybe sort of, you know, maybe sponsor someone or something along those lines. But you know, I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'm just sort of, I just, you know, yeah, I sort of just go about how I do it. You know, and a lot of it, like I said, this sort of scenario, a lot of that stuff's got jobs. You know, like people will get put into your path. You know, I don't go out trying to save people or trying to look for the work or anything like that.
Yeah.
A lot of these things happen because they're meant to happen. You know, and certain people will cross paths and yeah, like yeah, it's just the same thing. Like you and Tony and Sharada, you know, it's the same that scenario. It's like so yeah. Look, I would, and you know, and if that comes my way, I'll welcome it with open arms because that's the kind of person I am, and that's what I want to do in life, and that's where I need to be, and I believe that's you know that's what I was put here to do. You know, I think we're all in some form, shape, or another. So yeah, definitely. But as yet, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure to have bells on it when it you know faces me. So
when it presents to you, Andre,
when it presents, that's it. Yeah,
exactly.
Presents, that's the word.
Yeah, that's right. So, getting back to business, Andre, what top 3 things would you say that have made your business successful?
Okay. Top 3 things. Okay, that'd be my wife. I'd have to say Natalie would definitely.
Behind every great man is a better woman.
100%, 110%. I'd say, look, honestly, she's the backbone of the company. 2 would be my workers. You know, like my worker. Well, they're sort of on par, you know, but definitely our culture we have at work is one big thing. You know, we're a good bunch of guys that you know look out for each other, and I try my hardest to eliminate that kind of bad culture you get in work, as I shed a light on a little bit earlier on. You know, we're a tight knit, and I respect and I love every one of my workers as a you know as a friend really, because that's what it comes down to. You know, like when you're you know, I'm a strong believer in you know showing my workers, especially the new guys that come on, that I'm not just a guy who's gonna you know just sit there and crack the whip and you know and earn money off their hard-earned backs. Like they know I'm in the trenches with them, and that's just that's the kind of person I am. You know. Yeah, look, definitely my workers and definitely our workmanship as well, and our culture, and you know, so that's probably the 3 things.
Yeah. I'm going to be a little bit unique here. I'm going to ask Andre and Simon about this question. What part does intuition play with a business owner? In other words, connecting to your higher self.
Yeah, look, it's a really interesting question, that one. I've been asked that a few times, actually, Tony. Yeah. For many, even for myself sometimes, you've got to go with a gut feeling sometimes.
Yep.
Andre would probably agree with me here. Sometimes you just get a feeling about something or somebody, and you can either work with somebody or you can't. And invariably what happens is you actually get that feeling as you initially start to talk with them. You either you know, have that feeling of yes, it's pleasant to talk to them, they're asking questions, and you get a good feeling. But sometimes you don't get that, and often, you know, even for myself, I've actually walked away, and you know, I get that gut feeling of no, I just think there's something wrong here. I just don't want to go down that path. Yep. And we all get it. We all get it in different shapes and forms. So, what's your feelings, Andre? How do you feel about that?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head there, Simon. Yeah, definitely. When I'm running in touch or in line with the universe, as I like to say it, yeah. I'm going in a certain direction, and you definitely feel when you're going in the opposite direction. Like you definitely feel when you're going against the grain. And when I mean that, it's just it's just the positive and negative. Just you can feel the energy, like it's just not there, and it's it, you feel it, and you just everyone does. Every human being has that. You know, you walk into a certain scenario and people get that certain feeling that there's something uneasy here, or but it's just whether you choose to tap into that, you know, and sort of adjust to it. But yeah, look, I've had that feeling many a times, and you know, it's taken me a few lessons, because you try sometimes to keep going. Just because you're sort of thinking that it's going to be different, the results are going to be different. But sometimes you gotta let go of things and just let it play its course. And 9 times out of 10, you know, you'll get a lesson from it, and a lesson is a blessing. And you know, and you'll you just know. You just know. I just know. Look, I can't speak for everyone else, but I just know when I'm in that scenario, when there's something that's not right, whether I shouldn't be doing a project with this person, or you know, or having this employee, or you know, or you can just feel it. You can feel the vibe of the place. You can feel the vibe in the scenario, and I'm pretty in tune these days, where I just, you know, I try to, and you know, what I do, I ask my higher power how to handle this, you know, in the appropriate manner, and show me the light in it, and I find the way of, and moving on, shifting on, and you know, and yeah, and going on about my life. So
I think that's
both of you is that. What method do you use to tune in to your intuition?
For me, it's meditation. Meditation's a big one, and just having meditation and having my little routine is a big one. The routine is the rhythmic breathing, the heart breathing. You know, I stop every hour, maybe every 2 hours, and I just sort of, like, if I'm up on a roof and there's I just connect. It's just I step out of the doing world and go back into the connecting world. And basically, I might be sitting on a roof, and you know, and it might just be a nice breeze to the face, and just take a couple of minutes to breathe and just look around me, look at the tree lines, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes for me to get reconnected. And all of a sudden, I see a flock of like black yellow-tailed cockatoos fly over my head. You know, and that to me is my high power going, spot on, buddy. There you go. You know. It's just little moments like that reassure me that I'm on the right path, and I am connected with something greater than what I believe is, you know, materialistic stuff. But yeah, anyway, that's just me. That's how I get in touch with nature, and nature grounds me. So that's how I do it.
And what about you, Simon?
Oh, for me, as you know, I always take long walks of an evening, or even first thing in the morning sometimes. And I'm very blessed to have a beautiful lake next to where I live. And I often walk there, and I'll do a few laps of that. And then it's just getting back to nature. Yesterday morning, I was out with the kangaroos. I don't know whether you saw my photo, but out in amongst the kangaroos. And you know what? It takes the stress totally away.
That's right.
And you can actually, you know, and it makes you a happier person. And you can leave on the walk with something bothering you, and no answers for that. And 2 hours later, you can come back from that walk, and it's gone. It's totally gone, and you can move on and create something new for yourself, and that can be happiness, and that's what we all seek. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And for me, I do a lot of meditation. The thing is, it's so important to feel connected.
Yeah.
And I always, if there's a problem, ask the question, but not try and find the answer myself.
Yeah.
I'll be walking or something, and the answer will just pop in my head.
Yeah.
And I think for business owners, I think a lot of business owners are able to sort of got that special tuning, and it's just been open for those answers. And that's the thing, is not to sort of get your mind too busy, just to slow down and be mindful and let the answer pop into your head.
I think it's important for us all to give back to ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not just waiting for the weekend either. It needs to be constant throughout the week, because we all have busy weeks. We all have, in some cases, crappy days. But we need to continue to give back to ourselves. Otherwise, we just burn ourselves out.
Yeah, correct.
I've just noticed that we're getting close to the top of the hour. So, Andre, what do you think?
We could do this all night, Tony.
What's that? We can keep going, right? We're on fire at the moment. So what would be the main message that you'd like the audience to know about you and your business?
Look, we're you know, if you've got a dream home, or you've got a what can I say? Look, we're a passionate group that enjoy building, and not just building. We enjoy building someone's dream home, if I can say that, or whatever. It'll bring your dreams to reality in what you want to achieve, and we're willing to help people along the way to do that, step by step. We don't cut corners. We just, again, it's something that we're passionate about. So, yeah, look, I don't know what to say, actually. I've never really been asked that properly. But I'm willing to help out. Just look us up on Instagram and stuff like that. Look, you'll see what kind of work we do. And again, I'm more about the relationship with an owner or a builder, because, have that connection and we achieve something great out of it. When all the stars align, that's when you get a good job. You're sort of there for sort of your bulk billing, volume kind of stuff. No, that's not what we're about. So that probably just didn't make sense. But anyway, look, we're passionate about what we do, and we just love what we do. We're willing to help out. So,
and I think it shows definitely in the workmanship that you actually produce too. It's
cheers, Simon.
Class, great to see, actually.
Thanks.
And my main takeaway was how in tune you are, Andre, and your helpfulness, how you help others, and also how you treat your fellow workers and everybody. And I'd like to honour that for how you do that. And I know that you've had a few big challenges in your life. You actually came to one of our retreats and you needed some help with that, and you were able to sort of manage that by yourself. You seem to, once you took it on board, and you did it, which was good. And so
no worries.
Main takeaway. So over to you, Simon. What was your main takeaway?
I think I'm obviously familiar with what Andre does, and I think one of the things for me is, as a business coach, working with Andre is culture, and we mentioned that earlier in regards to his staff. And I think one of the big takeaways that I've seen Andre being very, very successful in is the fact that he puts himself on a level playing field with his staff. So there's no hierarchy. And I absolutely love that, because it gives the opportunity for his staff members to be able to come up and feel like that they can approach and talk to Andre. And we've lost Andre. Where are you, Andre? You've gone. I'm giving you a wrap here, my friend.
He won't be too far.
No. Anyway, but no. Look, I think he's done an absolute sterling effort in keeping the same staff. So he hasn't had any turnover of staff, and that's been a major takeaway for me. So good on you, Andre. I really, wish you well in that.
Yeah. Well, Simon, would you like to close now? I'm sure Andre will come back, but as you're closing,
I'm not quite sure what's happening. He's fallen into the car by the looks of it.
That's right.
Look, thanks, Tony. Look, I'd like to flag our next Let's Chat, and our next Let's Chat is Friday, the 11th of December, and we have the awesome Evan Bishop joining us. His company is called Worldly Migration, and as the name suggests, he's a migration agent, and I can't wait to throw him some questions because he helps people like you and I do. So looking absolutely forward to that one. But I'd like to now we've totally lost Andre, unfortunately, but I'm sure. I just wanted to say thanks to Andre. I think it was fantastic having him on today, and he was being very honest and in his background and what his struggles have been during his times of working in that business. As I said, as he said, he's only been running that business for between 7 and 8 years now, I think. And has had some major challenges to address during that time. He's been able to get through those challenges and come out the other side. And as a result, now he's got an amazing business and a very successful business. And I wish him all the very best in that business. So anyway, over to you, Tony, to say your goodbyes.
Well, thank you, everybody, for attending our show. And we got more to come. Not only we got Evan, but come 2021, we're going to have a really exciting program. So we want you to stay on board and just watch for our messages. And we love the audience, because the thing that we'd love also is if you've got any feedback or you've got some other topics that you'd like us to talk about, please send it to Simon and myself. And we'd love to sort of discuss it. So all the best, and I'll just take you away with our final bit, which is here. So all the best, everyone. You take care and have a marvellous Sunday, whatever's left.
Yeah, good idea.